2022. I'm not guaranteeing or saying anything. Hold the presses. I'm not saying absolutely in 2022 it's here, the war, the showdown. But let me just tell you that each year we are inching closer to a serious confrontation between Iran and Israel. Jake Sullivan, the national security advisor for President Biden, is right now in Israel, and he's meeting with top Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. And two guesses what they're meeting about. Of course, they're meeting about the Iran nuclear program and how to counter it. Basically, the Biden administration sent Jake Sullivan, the national security advisor, to Jerusalem this week to come up with a coordinated, quote, according to media accounts, a coordinated strategy that Israel and the U.S. will coordinate their approach to countering this Iranian nuclear threat. But Sullivan is in Israel, as I mentioned, and look, they want to coordinate a strategy. Good luck, because folks, at the end of the day, it's pretty clear to me that the Biden administration, under no circumstances, unless the U.S., God forbid, was attacked first by Iran, something like that, I don't see any scenario in which the Biden administration takes military action against Iran's nuclear weapons installations. So Biden not going to take action. Israel, on the other hand, there is teeth behind what they are saying. It's not a boy who cried wolf type scenario, folks. When Israel says under no circumstances will we allow Iran to acquire nuclear weapons, they really, truly mean it. Whether it's the defense minister, the foreign minister, the prime minister, the chief of staff for the Israel Defense Forces, Aviv Kohavi, the head of the Mossad, David Barnea. Do you notice a pattern here, ladies and gentlemen? Across the board, top Israeli officials are in unison. They're in agreement. Hey, these are men and women who don't always agree ideologically or politically or in their ideological outlook, but on this issue, the Iranian nuclear issue, there is uniformity among Israeli leaders and decision makers. We will not allow Iran to acquire the bomb under any circumstances, and we will prevent a nuclear Iran by any means necessary. Hint, hint, military means if we deem it necessary. Israel means business here, folks. It's not just bluster. It's not a boy who cried wolf situation. I've said it before. I'll say it again. We talk a lot about it here in the newscast. And when we do, we get a few comments saying, oh, this again, come on. It's the boy who cried wolf. They're never going to tangle and really go at it. It's not going to happen. It's just a lot of bluster for domestic consumption for their respective populations. Folks, I would say tread very lightly there. You know, when we talk about biblical prophecy, since 1948, since the rebirth of Israel, the miraculous rebirth of Israel, I would describe it as hurry up and wait. In many ways, right? There are some windows where, wow, it goes into overdrive, like we are in right now, in my view. The word that keeps coming to me at this time is accelerate. Things are accelerating prophetically at a rapid pace. Other areas are, look, hurry up and wait. The Iranian nuclear crisis, and it is a crisis, make no mistake, has been dragging on, I guess we could say now, and it continues to be drawn out. That's the way the Iranians like it, by the way, because the Iranian regime is buying time, but it continues to rounds of negotiations. We are on number 6 now, right, in Vienna. I believe this is the 6th round of negotiations in Vienna. By the way, those talks are collapsing right now. Surprise, surprise, in Vienna. We've talked about this on several live streams over the past few months, that they were going nowhere fast. That's exactly what happened. They are a charade. But the day of reckoning is coming, folks. And 2022, I'm not guaranteeing or saying anything. Hold the presses. I'm not saying absolutely in 2022 it's here, the war, the showdown. But let me just tell you that each year we are inching closer to a serious confrontation between Iran and Israel, not just through proxy, Iran acting through proxy, which is bad enough, as we saw earlier this year in May 2021 with Hamas and the Gaza war and Islamic Jihad as well there. Not just at sea attacking each other's shipping, not just Israel with covert actions against Iran's nuclear facilities, sabotage, perhaps taking out an Iranian nuclear scientist, something along those lines. Not just that, there will eventually be that day of reckoning where Israel says, we're at the point of no return here. Iran is at the point of no return. They're far too close to having the bomb. Oh, and by the way, if they do get the bomb, that could put Iran in position, the Iranian regime, to fulfill their long stated and often stated ideological goal of destroying Israel. So Israel's saying, yeah, we're going to get ahead of that, and we're not going to let that happen, or even provide Iran with a chance to make that a reality. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the Watchman Newscast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, click subscribe, and tap the bell icon to turn on notifications for new Watchman Newscast episodes every weekday.